Hello everyone, welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented to you by ClickAway Creators. Today we have Dr. G.V. Rao, who is a senior advocate of the Supreme Court of India with 34 years of practice. His areas of specializations are litigation, legal advice, government and academics, in the field of constitutional, law, taxation, international law, corporate law, IP, cyber law, telecom, economic offenses, shipping, and banking. Dr. Rao started his career as a counsel at the Office of the Attorney General for India for 5 years. Later, he was an independent central and state government counsel for about 22 years, while continuing private practice. He has also been associated with numerous domestic and international universities, public policy institutions, UN, and other global bodies for academics and faculty contribution. Hello, Dr. Rao. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Bharti. Good.
So, Dr. Rao, please brief us about your journey as a legal professional so far.
Well, immediately after finishing law school, I interned with the Office of the Attorney General for India. And thereafter, I joined the Office of the Attorney General for the first 5 years of my profession. During that time, I was exposed to the topmost litigation that the government of India was facing from private parties or was itself litigating with other parties. And the Supreme Court is the highest court of the land. So we had an exposure of all other kinds of disputes and litigation and legal issues before the court. And this was the first 5 years of my life. Besides, I also studied at various universities in the world, at the Georgetown University Law School, where I did a program on structuring and financing of foreign investment master's program. And also I was a Rhodes Ocean Scholar in the law of the sea in Greece, in Athens. I also studied at the Salzburg Institute of Global Studies in Austria. So I have pursued both my academic interests as well as my professional interests. All these years, I've been a counsel for about half a dozen state governments as well. As a government counsel, independent government counsel for 22 years, I have represented the government of India and the Ministry of Finance, Commerce, the Income Tax Department, etc. And thereafter, I've had a long journey in my private practice, which encompassed global corporations, multinationals, companies in India, and so on and so forth.
All right. Thank you so much for giving us the great insight about your journey. Please tell us about your most memorable case and what are your key takeaways from there.
Well, my most memorable case, so to speak, is a case which went on practically on a day-to-day hearing for about 2 years at the Supreme Court itself. And this was regarding the assassination of a former Prime Minister of India. And the amount of work that was involved, voluminous work, voluminous pleadings and paperwork running into several thousands and thousands of pages. We had about 20, 30, 40 volumes of various files, which had contained the facts of the case, evidence. There was case law, which we had to research, dozens and dozens of cases, almost hundreds, if one might say. And hearings went on day to day. So it was a very, very long and arduous process of the case. And we had to have the guilty punished because the Prime Minister was shot in broad daylight in her own house. And therefore, it was viewed by everybody, and everybody knew that a Prime Minister has been assassinated, and all those who were guilty of doing this heinous act ought to be brought to book and punished. So the main important thing, which was the key takeaway at that time, is that if you are at a job with perseverance, with determination, with analytical abilities, with focus, with continued and relentless hard work, you can achieve anything in the profession. The important thing is to be consistent, is to pursue the matter with a logical and analytical mind, and never give up.
Thank you so much. So, Dr. Rao, how do you look at corporate law in, let's talk about the past year because it has been a crazy year. How do you look at the corporate law in 2020 and how do you think that it is going to change 5 years down the line?
Well, if you ask me, from if 2020 itself, I mean, I think 2020 would result in so many legal disputes, because there have been dozens and hundreds and thousands of corporations that must have gone bankrupt, must have suffered tremendous financial losses. Contractual obligations may not have been met. There must have been disruption in trade and commerce, and commitments, being not met galore. And therefore, 2020 would be actually a kind of a explosion for corporate law as such, and also a low for the corporates, because they would not have been able, they would have lost a lot of business. The future of corporate law is tremendous because, as I've said before, post the World War II and the creation of the United Nations, we have gradually, over the last 3-4 decades, especially, we've turned into a globalized world. We've we have had newer technological advancements in the form of internet, which has revolutionized the whole global connectivity. And we've had newer technological instruments like the cell phone. We've had good software developments, which are real-time messengers like WhatsApp. And so everything can be simultaneously real-time seen while things happen in another part of the world. So we are now a global village, and it's final, and it is here to stay. So therefore, what used to be in individual countries used to be family businesses and commercial enterprises by corporates, now have expanded into in the sophisticated mechanisms of joint stock companies and corporate entities, global entities, and multinationals who have set up businesses all over the world. And therefore, the future of trade and commerce and business and goods and services is in international trade is only in the corporate field. And therefore, corporate law, there would have to be legal requirements, and there would be disputes in these commercial ventures. So corporate law has sky's the limit for its growth, and it's going to be endless. And I would recommend every youngster who has an appetite for it to concentrate in corporate law and develop his skills and make a career out of it.
So, Dr. Rao, this question that I'm going to ask is going to take a bit longer than the other questions. What are the various organizations and clients you have been associated with? And so the next part is, what are the other awards have you received?
Well, you see, clientele and organizations, I have appeared for several corporations right across the world, from Canada to the United States to UK, France, Italy, Germany, which are readily coming to my mind. In the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Israel, the UAE, I do a lot of work with some UAE corporates, Australia on this side, Singapore, Hong Kong. So therefore, I've had companies which dealt in apparel wear, which have been in business in hotels, in oil and natural gas, in shipping, banking, financial institutions, all variety of international organizations from all of these places. some known and some may not be that known. In India, I've been a lawyer for Gas Authority of India, Shipping Corporation of India, Oil and Natural Gas Commission, which are also international companies, by the way. Some of the Indian companies, both the airlines, Air India and Indian Airlines, have done work associated with them. Minerals and Metals Trading Corporation, MMTC, MSTC, Metal Scrap Trading Corporation. At a very young age, I was able to get a good exposure with large public sector corporations. Even some of the Tata companies, the Oberoi hotels, the ITC. ITC was a big client of mine. I did a lot of work for the ITC, which is into hotels and other areas of business. I did their telecom issues. They had their own networks that they wanted to establish. For IT companies, many IT companies, Dutch, and there's so many that companies that are there that one has lost track of all of them. But a good bit of the entire corporate spectrum, I've been able to give my skills to. Also, I was appointed as a professional director in a power company, and I've even been in counsel for an NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation, NHPC, National Hydropower Corporation. So this power company was a private company. I've been a lawyer. I was appointed as a professional director, so I could steer them through legal issues. So that has been my journey in the corporate sector. But apart from that, awards, yes, I do a lot of work in the area of public policy, in the area of governance. So I was given the National Bar Award by the Supreme Court, by the Chief Justice and the Law Minister in 2008, and because for my contribution in international law and in the areas of law of the sea. I was conferred a doctorate by the Commonwealth University in London. I also got conferred a DLIT by the Ashcroft University in London. So I have done legal work, and I've got the Protector of Democracy Award for reforming the bar affairs in the Supreme Court. Then I've got many faculty awards where I was, since I hold honorary professorships in several universities, I've got faculty awards and this one and so forth, because I even taught journalism for some time in the Times School of Journalism and the business law at the Amity Business School, IIM Lucknow. So there are a host of recognitions that have been. I got the Bharat Gaurav Award. I think somewhere here up there, which is an honor to be called the recipient of the Bharat Gaurav Award. But you know, I never wear them on my sleeve. Yeah, of course they adorn my walls, but definitely I don't keep track in the mind. But yes, I have been given several awards right around the world, and even international recognition has been conferred on me.
Thank you so much. As I told you, it would take a bit longer than the other questions. Moving on to my next and the last question, Dr. Rao. As a designated senior advocate by the full court of the Supreme Court of India, what are the roles and the responsibilities that come with it? I'm sure there would be many, but if you can enlighten us.
Yeah, you see, the designation of a lawyer by the court as a senior advocate is a great honor and recognition of their career, of their achievements, and their recognition is one which is everybody looks forward to. We have designations by a senior advocate both by High Court and Supreme Court. I was designated by the Supreme Court. Which is a reflection of the kind of work which I've just spoken about that has been recognized by the court itself over these years. So a senior advocate in India is like a barrister or a Queen's Counsel in the UK. A senior advocate is essentially someone who has got great communication skills, who's able to persuade the courts well, who is known for that. Also, knowledge of law and application of the knowledge of law. Mere knowledge of law is not sufficient. It is how we apply the same law in different situations that counts. So all of these aspects and the great exposure that one has, because the Supreme Court is the highest court and the apex court, and it hears appeals from all over India, all the states in the country. And experience, I've appeared in all the high courts and argued matters, and I've carried them to the Supreme Court in appeal. So the entire life's experience is taken into account. And the senior counsel do not engage into some day-to-day activities like meeting with the clients separately, or filing a wakalat on behalf of the client. The senior counsel is briefed by other solicitors and advocates on record who do most of the work, and the senior counsel is expected to deal with just the briefs which are prepared and apply his knowledge of law, read it up, and address the court. So the other work that solicitors do and the other advocates do, it's very limited to a very high, sophisticated area of dealing with the law, of addressing the judges of the Supreme Court. And it is the highest status any lawyer can be conferred with. It's a great recognition in terms of a lawyer's ability, and his functions are also of a superior and a different higher order. And we have to maintain that, and we are expected to live up to the standards, the benchmark that's been recognized, and we function in a slightly different environment than the general lawyers and the other solicitors do.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rao, for sharing such great insights with us. Obviously, it has always been lovely talking to you, and I'm really looking forward to having a chat with you again in the future on maybe some other trending topics from the international legal industry. And for our viewers, if you like this chat with Dr. Rao, which will inspire to another level, like and share this video, and also subscribe to ClickAway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do and what we have coming from industry leaders. This is Bharti for LexTalk signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.